Hello, welcome back to the Boardgames 4K YouTube channel, and this is a channel where we give you reviews, playthroughs, unboxings, and we generally talk a lot of bollocks about tabletop gaming in general. And in this video we're going to be talking about a Spiel des Jahres winner from 2007. We're going to be talking about the tile laying game Zooleretto, and this is a game where you'll be laying tiles onto your zoo. You'll be trying to fill up enclosures whilst getting some vending stalls down to boost your points. You'll be trying to collect money, maybe stitch up your opponents by making them take delivery trucks with animals they don't want. But essentially you'll be trying to get the most points that will allow you to win the game. So in this video we are going to be giving you a very brief overview of the rules. We'll be telling you what we do like, we don't like. Then we'll come back and we'll tell you whether or not Zooleretto is still worth playing 13 years, unlucky for some, after it was first released. So remember, if you're new here, then please consider subscribing to this channel. Leave a comment in that section down below, and we'll see you after this. Boardgames 4K. What you'll be doing in this game, you're going to be taking all the tiles, that includes the animals, the vending stalls and the money tiles. You'll be turning face down, you'll be making some equal stacks, and you'll take 15 of these tiles at random and you'll place them in its own little stack and put the red disc on top. And these are the tiles that are going to be used at the end of the game. So the animals that you've got in this game, you've got the flamingo, you've got the camel, there's a leopard, a elephant, a panda, a chimpanzee, a zebra and a kangaroo. What we like to do, we like to take all of these tokens and we just chuck them all in a bag rather than have stacks, and then you'll be drawing them out of the bag. Right? So what you're going to be doing, you're going to be taking the delivery trucks, one for each player, put them in the centre of the table, and on your turn you're going to be taking one of 3 actions. You can reach into the bag, take a tile out and add it to a delivery truck, and if you do that, that's your turn over. You don't get any more goes until everybody's taken a delivery truck. You can take a delivery truck and you can take all the tiles that are on it. There's 3 spaces for tiles. Take all the tiles that are on it and you'll take the tiles and you put them either in an enclosure, on a vending stall space, or you'll place them in your barn, right? Or you've got the option of carrying out a money action, and there's 3 different money actions. You can remodel, which means you can move a single animal tile from your barn to an empty space on the enclosure, or you can move a vending stall from your barn to one of the vending stall spaces. You can exchange, you can take all the animals of one type from either your barn or an enclosure, and you can exchange them with animals of another type from another enclosure. You can purchase or discard a tile, so you've got the option of purchasing a tile is in an opponent's barn. They can't say no to this. You pay 2 coins, yeah, and then they get a coin and the bank gets a coin, and then you take the tile and you either put it in your barn or in one of the enclosures. And the third option you got when you do a money action is you pay 3 coins and then you'll flip over the expansion side of the board to the enclosure side, and then that will give you more space to place more animals. So if a fertile male and female animal get together in the same barn, they're going to have a baby. You take the offspring tile of the associated animal, you'll place it in an empty space on your barn, right? If you fill the last space in the enclosure, then you will get the money bonus that's printed on the board unless the last space is filled by a baby animal. Okay, don't want to do that. So you will keep doing this, you'll keep taking delivery trucks, you'll keep placing animals in your zoo. You can only ever have 1 animal type in each enclosure, so you've got to be very careful about which ones you place and where. You'll be gathering money and you'll keep doing this until all the tiles in the bag are run out, and then when you go into the last stack with the red disc on top of it, then you will end the game once everybody has taken a delivery truck, and then you'll do a bit of final scoring, right? So you go around your board and you look to see if all your enclosures are full. For each full enclosure you'll get the larger number on the left hand side of what's printed on the board. If there's 1 space missing, then you'll get the lower number. You can bump these up with vending tiles, so if depending on how many spaces you've got missing, you can still get points if you've got a vending stall on there. And for every different type of vending stall that you've got in your zoo, then you'll get 2 extra points, because people like to buy shit, don't they? So the last thing you're going to do, you can look into your barn, and for every animal type that's in your barn, you're going to lose 2 points, and for every vending stall type in your barn, you'll also lose 2 points. And once you've done all that, then the player with the most points will be the winner of Zooleretto. So what do we like about Zooleretto? So the first thing that we really like is a wonderful thing. We love the fact that this gives you the opportunity to build up your own zoo, and you don't quite feel that you're in Matt Damon's shoes, right? But even so, we love pulling those animals out of that bag and seeing how many elephants you can get in your enclosures, right? And it does remind us a little bit of that game from the early 90s called Theme Park, if you remember that from 1993. The way that you can sort of craft your own park and fill up your own spaces on a very basic level, yeah? But the theme is absolutely fantastic. So the second thing that we really like about this is that storing the animals in your barn at first glance looks like a really stupid thing to do, but no, you can place animals in your barn deliberately to tempt the other players into giving you money so that you can buy stuff to make your thing better, right? One of the things is you've got to look at what everyone else is doing and then judge which delivery truck you're going to take based on not only what you want to do, but also what your opponents want to do or don't want to do. And that's a wonderful thing. That means that there's player interaction sort of in a sort of a psychological sort of way, you know, that you're sort of trying to weigh up what other people are doing. You're sort of interacting on a sort of a mental level, not like a sort of a direct level. So the third thing that we really like about Zooleretto is the way that when you place animals on the delivery trucks, you can sort of manipulate the way people play the game, because you can load those delivery trucks with stuff that people don't want, or you can make them more lucrative and make them take a delivery truck by loading it with money and maybe one animal that they want. If they want the panda, they're going to have to take the flamingo as well. And you can even load up animals on the delivery truck so that these players have to put it in their barn. So then on your next turn, you can buy it off them. So that's a really good way of sort of manipulating things so that you can take your delivery truck that you want and also you can buy stuff off of them. So the final thing that we really like about Zooleretto, and it's something my kids highlighted, right? I didn't really see it, but my kids really liked it, is the artwork on this game. It's like got that 3D aspect, and when my kids played this the other day for the first time, they instantly said, wow, look at that, the barn looks like a 3D sort of thing. And it's probably for 2007, I don't know if I'd ever seen anything like it back then. I can't really remember back that far because my brain is completely fried into a big ball of mush, right? But my kids noticed it, they highlighted it, and I was looking at it thinking, yeah, you know what, you're right, the artwork in this game for its time is really, really good. What don't we like about Zooleretto? So the first thing and the most important thing, we'll get this out of the way, is that this game lacks something. I was thinking about this. We played this quite a lot recently, and I was thinking about it. I was thinking about something that was in the back of my mind saying to me that this game lacks something. I couldn't put my finger on it. I was thinking, what the bloody hell is it? What is it that irks me about this game so much? And I woke up in the middle of the night in a cold sweat, and it came to me. And it's the fact that there's no people in this game. You're building this zoo, but there's nobody coming in. There's no human element in this game. It's just you're building a zoo. There's no one in there. It's like an empty shell. It's like a blueprint. There's nothing there. It's not like Dinosaur Island, which to a limited extent has actually got people coming into your zoo. Like Theme Park has got people milling around, you know, that video game. But this game is completely devoid of any kind of humanity. There's no people in it, which is a real shame. Maybe there should have been an expansion where you can actually have something where you can draw people in, and you know, that's an accomplishment in itself, isn't it? But there's nothing like that in this game, and that's a real downer. So the second thing that we don't like about Zooleretto is the fact that this game suffers from what we call flowchart syndrome with regards to the mechanics and the rules, you know, where they make you think that you've only got three options. You know, it's three options. Don't worry about it. It's going to a piss. But then when you get into it, it's those three options. I've got three options, and those three options have got three options. It's a bit like called the gallows stuck there. You know, when you first look at it, the rules are really simple. It gives you a very limited amount of options. But after that, you dig deeper, and in the end, you are scratching around, trying to stop yourself from drowning in a pool of rule mud. Right. So that is a bit of a downer for a game that is meant to be so simple and family oriented. This game does suffer from flowchart syndrome. Nightmare. So the third thing that we don't like about this game is the fact that there is no difference between the animals. And this is something that other games have suffered from, have been criticised for, like King of Tokyo. When you play King of Tokyo, all the monsters are the same. That's been rectified with the power-up expansion, but all the monsters are essentially the same. All the animals in this are the same. So there should have been some sort of other thing going on, like maybe the elephants might take up more space, for instance, or the monkeys might do something else, or the flamingos have to have water or something like that. But there's nothing like that, and that's a real downer. The animals essentially could have just been different coloured discs, and this game is actually based on a game called Zooleretto. We haven't played that, but that's probably where that lack of extra mechanics for the animals comes from, you know. So the final thing that we don't like about Zooleretto is the fact that cash is either very, very difficult to come by, or it comes in its abundance when you don't actually need it. You know what I mean? Every time we play this game, it just seems to me that I'm sitting there thinking, come on, give me some money. Somebody buy one of my tokens. Get some money out of that bag so I can open up another enclosure, but it doesn't come. And then when I've given that up, I'm thinking, well, all right, and I'll double down on the chimps, or I'll wait for the leopards to come out. Then the money comes out when I don't actually need it. So that's like shooting yourself in the foot and in the head at the same time. So to summarise, is Zooleretto worth playing 13 years after it was first released? So we are going to say, I don't know, maybe, maybe not. It's an average tile placement game that lacks the depth of its peers like Carcassonne, but it makes up for that in theme, yeah, which maybe is welcome, maybe it's not. A good deal of mind games and player interaction bumps this up beyond the level of mediocre, but the frustration of the random draw drops it back down to basically just an average tile game. So we're going to give Zooleretto 3 out of 5. I don't know if it's a victim of being dated or whether or not it's just a bit too basic for us, but it does work well for kids around about 8 and 9. It is actually quite interesting for the first few times that you play it, but I don't think this is going to have much longevity, and it might just sit on your shelf for a few years, or you might even just get rid of it unless you get one of the expansions. There's a few expansions. There's a polar bear enclosure expansion, there's a load of mini expansions with sort of construction sites and some extra enclosure boards. There's the game Zooleretto, which you can mix in with this, which gives you sort of animals based in water, so maybe that might embellish the game and make it that little bit better, but we don't know about that. So we're going to give this 3 out of 5. That's Zooleretto. So remember, if you're new here, please consider subscribing to this channel. Leave a comment in that section down below, and we'll see you next time.